Hey cooks, we have a really special knife in the house today. We have a Nakiri from Dragon, which is made by Yaxell. We looked at their Fusion chef knife a while back, and it was one of my favorite knives. It is one of my favorite knives. But today, we have the Nakiri in their Fire line, and this is a really interesting knife because it has a very interesting shape. So, let's take this baby out, take a look at it, and do a cut test of the Dragon Nakiri Fire. So today we're going to be taking a look at Dragon's Fire line, and we're going to be looking at the Nakiri. What's great about Dragon knives is they are made out of American steel that is sent over to Yaxell to make the knives. And they make some of the best knives that there is out there. They are an old knife maker that their knives are fantastic. And this is our Dragon knife. And let's get this baby open. What's unique about this knife is, look at the color of it. Look at that. That knife is gorgeous. So like I said, it is made out of BD1N steel out of Pennsylvania. That steel is sent to Japan to make the knives. And what's really interesting about these knives is, look at this. It almost looks like a chef's knife that had the end lopped off. And Nakiris are Japanese style knives that are vegetable knives. So they're great for vegetables. You don't really want to use them for big bone with a lot of meat. That's not what these knives are for. These are vegetable knives. And they're different from a chef's knife because the chef's knife, you usually use it with a rocking motion. The intention of these knives is for what we call a push cut, or an up and down cut, or a push cut, not necessarily to rock on. So look at this knife. It is sweet. Look at the color on that handle. So it has the same micarta handle, which is made out of a resin and a linen. So it's very water resistant. So what these feel like is they're perfectly smooth, like someone took a sandpaper to wood. But this is micarta material and metal, but it's perfectly smooth, just like if you were to rub this cutting board. I mean, they are finished fantastic. So let's take a look at this baby. Let me get it out of here. Oof. Look at this knife. Geek over knives, right guys? Look at that baby. I mean, doesn't that look like kind of a cut off chef's knife? Look at the end of that. What's great about that is when you're chopping vegetables and you're doing this, I mean, you don't have that tip getting in the way. These knives are made for a push cut or a chop. They're not really rockers. This does have a little bit of rock to it, slightly, but that's really not its natural tendency. The tendency to use this knife is this way or this way. Like this, a push cut or up and down. It does have a little bit of rock. Seems like it sort of wants to stop right there in the middle. This thing is so cool. So this is a 7-inch Nakiri knife. It's made out of BD1N steel, made in Japan. It is sweet. So let me get out some ingredients and let's test this baby out. So we pretty much have a farmer's market right here in the kitchen. We are going to be making a vegetable stock in the electric pressure cooker. So we need to prep our vegetables. Now you can do it one of two ways. You can save your scraps all the time and make your stock. I didn't do that, so we have full vegetables here, but we're gonna take advantage of that because we got a cool new knife, huh? So this knife feels really good in my hand. Whether you chop like this or you choke up on the knife and you do a pinch grip, it's both very comfortable. So, of course, the very first thing we need to do straight out of the box is what? There's one cut test we need to do straight out of the box to see how sharp this baby is. And that is a tomato, right? So let me grab the tomato. Here's our tomato. And whew, let's see how this is. This is just like when we did the Fusion Chef's knife from Dragon. This cuts like absolutely beautiful, just like that. We did a cut test just like that on the other one, and it just slices right off. That is a sharp, sharp knife. Look at that. Right on the edge. Almost when you cut through, you can see the knife through. Let's see how thin we can get it. Look at how, when I'm cutting that, you can see the knife through the tomato slice. I'm not that, my knife skills aren't that sophisticated. And I was cutting it really thin. Wow. Look at that. That is nice. So you're getting it, tomato. You want a push cut or an up and down cut? So push cuts would be this way. Bam. And the up and down cuts would just be this way. Right? Sweet. Now this is fun. Look at that. Sweet. Awesome. Okay, so when we're making a vegetable stock with the onions, you really want to leave the skin intact because the skin of the onion is what gives a vegetable stock richer color. Otherwise, your stock will be kind of really light. So I'm just going to take the ends off of here. Some people leave the ends on, the root ends for their stock. I'm just going to take them off because I don't really want there to be any like mud in there. So we're just going to make some big wedges. And we're going to keep that skin on. This is going to be a huge, huge bucket of vegetables for this. This knife is awesome. Okay, we got a little bit of bell pepper. And this is what this knife is made for, right? It's like butter. Like butter. So I'm not gonna do like totally major things to this. I'm just going to give it a rough one. A rough one. We got a whole bunch of green onions. And we're just going to chop these up in kind of pieces like this. A lot of people put a lot of the ends in. I don't want to muddy my stock, so we're just going to do that. Got some more here. I'm going to take that end off. This knife is sweet, guys. So that's your push cut. Your push cut is this. And I don't know, I've seen people rocking with these, and it's kind of weird to me, carrot. And I didn't peel these, all I did was scrub them. Nice. You know, my habit is always to rock. And this thing rocks a little bit, but it's not meant for that. It's meant for a straight up and down cut. Sweet. Carrots are hard too. Look at how easy that cuts. Nice. I actually am liking this just as much as the other one. Woo! Wow, carrot, it definitely gets an A. So here's some celery, and I already rinsed the celery. Nice. This is a great knife, guys. I love it. Want some big chunks. Got some more celery here. Woo! Nice. I like this knife. Perfect knife for vegetables. Nice and sharp. Now we're going for something a little more delicate. We got some mushrooms here. Nice. I just have one package of mushrooms. We're actually going to be able to get a lot of stock in here. We're going to be using an 8-quart pressure cooker, but I was thinking that this might make 2 batches. Sweet. Dragon, you make some seriously sweet knives. That's all I got to say. So last but not least, we have a leek. And the leek is really sandy in the layers. So I'm pretty much going to cut this here. Wow. Here. And we're going to cut along that way, along this way, and I'm going to rinse this before we even, some people put this in there, but I'm not going to put it in there. We're going to rinse this really good between the layers because there tends to be a lot of dirt in these layers of the leek because it grows in sandy soil. So as it grows up, it gets a lot of sand in there. So we will be rinsing those. So guys, I think the Dragon Nakiri is an awesome knife. It is one of the top of my favorite knives now, along with their Fusion Chef knife. It's an absolutely beautiful knife. And we cut up all these vegetables that we're going to be doing a vegetable stock in an electric pressure cooker with. And it was so easy to cut them up. It took like nothing. This knife is sweet, guys. If you want to take a look at this knife, I'll put a link in the description. I just really want to thank Dragon for sending this knife. I had so much fun testing it out, and you will definitely see this knife in the future because I really like it. Again, the link's in the description, and thank you very much, Dragon. If you like this video, please subscribe below and leave me a comment and a like, and visit my website at amylearnstocook.com. I'm also on Twitter and Pinterest at Amy Learns to Cook. On Facebook, I'm at facebook.com/groups/Amy Learns to Cook. And on Instagram, I'm at Cooking with Amy.